Tonight, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We'll see Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
10 at their own 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
57, Mike, 57. All day, baby, all day.
From the gun, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
It's a gain
17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick 1st down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
A loss of 9 yards.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd down.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Shedding through the defense. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a 3rd-round pick back in 2018 out of Oklahoma State. It's Mason Rudolph.
And how about the incredible numbers he put up for Oklahoma State? Over 13,000 yards passing, actually approaching 14,000 yards, 92 touchdowns, and I know the spread offense.
It's caught inside the 25 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown, and the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing, and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The return man, Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Back to Brown, this time complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. From midfield now, here's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in.
He's got a man, complete. The 30, past the 20, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 91 yards, and the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now it's Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Dobbins running out of the gun. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showed some tough running but couldn't free much space. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
We got three down. Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Throwing again. Jackson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Rabbit.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taken in at the 11. And now off to the races, down the right side, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That's a punt return of 89 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Joseph now to have the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. The return man, Wilson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. There he goes left side. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, partner, time to start thinking about dinner plans after this one. I don't want to write them off first quarter, but my goodness, the offense clicking like this and a 4-score lead.
We are programmed to not get to that stage, right? To not think that way, but you can't help it. They look like sheer perfection right now with those 4 scores this early. Let's see if they can keep it up, and let's see if there's any way possible they can be slowed down.
Yeah, right now, I don't see any signs of them being slowed down. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Now it's Wilson. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And now it's 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded just inside the 30. Brushing off defenders. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far, as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. There he goes, right side. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 54 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over him.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The return man, Wilson. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
That's taken on the 25. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no... Further. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. His throw incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and now it's second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Mike 54.
To throw again. Jackson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Fielded at about the 28. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And they're able to pick up the 1st and keep possession. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. It would have been a long kick. It was prime fake field goal territory. They faked it. They got it.
So much for defense in this situation, because the natural play there is you go into what we call safe, meaning you don't.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. 22 yards. And this offense is running away with this one.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now it's Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 16 yards, a first down.
180. Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Jackson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. On 2nd down now, Dobbins. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete.
Let's go, baby.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Jackson, draw play to Dobbins. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and a route is on here in this first half. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. 7 yards deep, and Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now Jackson to throw on third down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
This is taken at the 23. And just shutting him off there. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, one. Numero uno. Second quarter, they need to get him the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only one carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. Muscles him off. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback. 58 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw him starting to scramble, my thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there. And in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Operating from the gun, Jackson.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Able to hit his target, Claypool. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after play.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Their mobile, agile quarterback. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson, and the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
Here we go.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
And he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that mid. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up second down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Back to throw now on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Come on, D.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 at the 41.
Check Mike 54.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to...
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And he'll go down at the 28. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Chase Claypool, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that looked like they had a victory, all of a sudden were going home with a loss.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space,
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. And this offense is running away with this one. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll make it third down. Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. James Lynch in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the Service Academy? And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Andrews. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A handoff as they run the counter play. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Open space inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there, with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And this offense continues to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line as his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
This will be taken at the 10. Shreds the tackle. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. On first down, Rudolph. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from the 20 as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. And the Ravens taking the feed. Throwing on second down. Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. Operating from the gun. Jackson. And now another one thrown incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers ready for their next possession. And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the fourth quarter and now can really take some time off the clock.
Yellow! It's the mic right here. Go, Mike 40, Mike 40.
Here's Mahomes, his first throw since coming in. He's going to... Got his man, complete. 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Chase Claypool with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at Week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in Week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The return man, Wilson. And he will be brought down here in Inside the 20, good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. J.K. Dobbins, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. Throwing again. Jackson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. From the gun, Jackson. And that's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without...
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. And for Jackson, this may be a free play. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped.
This is unbelievable.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. It has been quite a display here in the opening game of the new season. And really, they're putting the rest of the NFL on notice. They are going to be title contenders as now they look to finish things off in the 4th quarter.
Yellow.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He's got a man, complete. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool, 84 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now it's Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. On 2nd and 10, Jackson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That was J.J. Watt getting in there and getting him to the ground.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And taken right on the 30. Breaks through the contact. Touchdown, Steelers. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. The return man, Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Jackson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. 45 yards. And this offense is running away with this one as that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's loose again. Still shedding tackles. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll roll him out right. Flushed out, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Patrick Mahomes with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Now it's Wilson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. That is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 21. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again with Dobbins. And maybe shades in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Mike's 5-4. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Jackson on 3rd and long from his end zone. And it's intercepted in the end zone. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The return man, Wilson. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Johnson, the intended target, and it's second down. To throw again, Jackson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the gun, Jackson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. 32 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
Now it's Wilson. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Johnson was the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going for the deep ball. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Joseph now to have the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The return man, Wilson. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 34. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? No, I want to stay on the field. I might get some...
Joseph on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. From the gun, Jackson got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and it'll bring up 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
I'm going to hit you.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Steelers, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they go down to defeat here in the